these roaches. Looking at the income, they are about equal, as QXC does have the same amount of bases as the Zerg player, and it looks like Machine is moving out right now. I don't think Burrow is finished. No, it is not. So he is probably just going to do a frontal attack with his roaches and Zerglings. And as I was going to say before, these mules are helping quite a lot. And it looks like, I wonder if that was a changeling, and it looks like QXC's forces are moving out, and they are going to scan the roaches, and the roaches are going to meet these Terran units, and the Hellions are going to burn away these Zerglings. The roaches are going to attack. You hear snipes going off. So many ghosts and marauders. Ghosts are sniping away, and it looks like QXC's forces have overcome Machine's forces, and he's going to go straight into Machine's base. QXC's Bioball looks pretty deadly with all those snipes, and he has scanned the roach army of Machine, and Machine is getting an overseer, knowing that these ghosts will have cloaks sooner or later. It looks like QXC has retreated after seeing all those roaches and Zerglings. Now, Machine has gotten a second expansion, a third base, and he is starting to saturate it. And as I said, the Machine can quite safely just expand in a half moon, half circle area away from the Terran base. Meanwhile, we'll see another command center going up for QXC. He is probably going to fly that right over here and expand there also. Another factory going up for QXC. Another barracks. I would like to see QXC switch to some drops. Now it looks like this changeling is going to run unnoticed across the map into QXC's base. We'll keep an eye on that. Oh, and it looks like the QXC's forces have moved out. It's trying to confront. Oh, and Stimpak's going through Marauders. And it looks like they are confronting the Zerglings and the Roaches, and the Marauders are just so great against Roaches. Ah, and here comes the Mutalisk army. Now, these Hellions and Roaches are, his Hellions and Marauders are not going to be able to do anything against these Mutalisks. And with the remaining forces QXC has, he is forced to simply go for the expansion. But now that QXC does know that Machine has expanded to a third base, he will probably try to take that out soon. And these Mutalisks do present a constant harassed threat. I wonder what happened to that changeling. No, that's still good. But Mutalisks looks like they were trying to do some harass, but QXC has spawned some Marines to deal with that and put up some missile turrets, so I don't know how well this harass is going to work. QXC trying to destroy Machine trying to destroy some of QXC's forces, but he is forced to retreat. QXC constantly producing that bio ball. Let's take a look at the units tab. Oh, and it looks like a nuke is in production for QXC. So QXC is going to use these ghosts. He hasn't researched cloaking yet, which is quite unusual, but he probably hasn't because... Oh, that changeling dying right there. He probably hasn't because he knows that Zerg players can so easily just spawn a few overseers, and the seers can be quite mobile, so he probably isn't going to invest in that cloak. But it looks like he is getting a nuke, so we will see if he ever gets the chance to drop that nuke on the Zerg base. And QXC getting that planetary fortress upgrade on his expansions and those missile turrets for those mutas that he knows that are going to try to take out this base as soon as Machine sees the expansion. Now it looks like the Zerg player is expanding. It looks like the Zerg player is trying to one-up the Terran player in expansions. Just as the Terran player gets the third base, of course, Machine goes for the fourth. Let's look at the income tab, and it looks like the Machine's income is a little bit higher, but not enough to make a difference. And considering the fact that Machine has expanded faster, or did expand faster, it is to be expected. But as soon as those mules die, QXC's income is to drop. And of course, more mules means there we see the mules. That's why we saw the income increase right there. Now it looks like in the middle of the map, QXC is moving out his Hellion and Ghost and Marauder force. He does have that controlled watchtower, or he did. And this Overlord is going to float over here to see the forces of QXC, but it is going to be taken out. But I believe that was a good sacrifice for the Overlord to see the army of QXC and what it was composed of and what it was doing where. Now it looks like, oh, this massive force of Banelings and Roaches and Speedlings are going to engage the forces of QXC, and the Banelings are just going to rip through these bioballs, supported by the Roaches and Speedlings. All these Marauders and Ghosts being taken out. Ghosts are trying to snipe the Roaches, and the Roaches are forced to retreat, but all QXC has left are Ghosts, and everything else has been taken out. It looks like he is retreating with those Ghosts, and those Overseers trying to keep up with those Ghosts. And here come the Speedlings trying to protect this expansion desperately, and the Mutalisks. I don't think this is going to be enough for QXC to take out the Mutalisks and Speedlings. There go his Ghosts. It looks like he did manage to take out and snipe all of Machine's Mutalisk. And meanwhile, looks like QXC has been trying to get this gold, and he is flying that command center over there. He's most likely going to try to protect this base with his forces and a planetary fortress, it would be my guess. And with this gold, I think this would even give him a better economy than combined with the mules than Machine. So we'll have to see how their macro comes into play. Because so far this has been a macro intensive game. Looks like personal cloaking is just being researched as of now. And infantry research is obviously going. These missile turrets going off to try to kill these overlords as they pass by. And it looks like the Speedlings, oh, the Hellions do have the Preigniter upgrade now, and they rip through Zerglings so quickly with that Preigniter upgrade. So much bonus damage against light units, but against the Roaches, since Roaches are armored, they're gonna need something more than Hellions. Those drones roasting. And as the Roaches chase the Hellions out, the Marauders come to the rescue, and the Roaches are retreating. Looks like QXC is free to take out this expansion with the bulk of his forces. And this expansion of Machines is going to go down to the stimming forces of QXC. Those Baneling cocoons being taken out by the Hellions. 2 Banelings left on top. They are going to try to attack them, but no, they are going to die before they can reach the Bioball. Let's take a look at the units tab. The Harvester count is actually interesting by the fact that there are more SCVs than drones on the map, and look at this many Banelings rolling in to destroy all of the Marauders and the Hellions, and the Roaches are just ripping through what's left. So players trading blow for blow, and Machine is now going to reclaim this expansion he just lost. So looking back at the gold, QXC has gotten a planetary fortress, and he has erected a sensor tower